Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Costume Co. And tonight we have a wonderful guest with us. She's back again. We didn't scare her off last time. I have with us Megan Hensley. She is the Director of Asset Management at Prop Store, the LA location. Oh, I'm getting a sorry. Sorry, I was getting an echo there. And thank you so much, Megan, for coming back. And I'm so glad that you're here with us again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I always love our conversations, and we've got so much to share this time. I'm gonna let
Yeah,
you do the introductions.
absolutely. So Megan is here tonight. We're going to talk about the Wolf of Wall Street auction that is, I believe it's ongoing right now. Maybe she can give us a bit more information about that. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's incredible. It's a Martin Scorsese film. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie. It's based on a true story, which I was really sort of fascinated to learn about. And it came out, I believe, in 2013. Did we? And so Rose said he watched it a while ago. I recently watched it just so it's a bit more fresh in my mind. So what we're going to do tonight, we have a little sampling of some of the costumes, some of the props from the movie, and you're going to get a little firsthand tour of those items. So we're really happy to have you, Megan.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What do you want to start with first?
Well, so Ro is here. Sorry, Megan, before we do that, Ro, do you want to just say a quick hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here. I was almost not going to make it because of breaking news here in Chicago, but I'm glad I'm here.
Wonderful. Sorry, Megan. Yeah. Okay. So, well, Megan, I've sort of left this up to you to sort of show us some of the items. I'm assuming we're going to have maybe something that was worn by Leonardo DiCaprio. Maybe we
Of
might have Margot
course.
Robbie's shoes. So,
Of
do you want to just
course.
take us through it?
Sure. I mean, some of the best ways to kind of drive you through the journey of all the props is going through the movie from the beginning to the end. But we have so many different kind of collections. So one of the collections that we have, of course, is Margot Robbie's costumes, which we'll get to in a second. And then we've got the watch collection. We've got the accessories. We've got the FBI stuff, his travel stuff. A lot of lots that have to do with Stratton. Oakmark and like including all their phones and all of their call sheets, every kind of sales pitch that they have. We have small and unique things that were one of kind, such as Belfort's, of course, pager that even lights up and says the words that are on screen, which is really fun. And then we have one of it's called Good Morning Daddy listings, which includes, I don't know if you can see this panning down here, is Margot's shoes here, which is of course Naomi, the character and wife of Belfort, and it includes a lot of like the children's stuff. And one of my favorite pieces here, which is the teddy bear and the camera, which he points out after she, of course, tries to seduce him and then teases him a bit, and then he gets his revenge using this teddy bear. So, and these are the shoes that she's wearing. That's probably my favorite piece. So, of course, I'm starting off with that. But, this movie was very, very indicative of what the couture and high end and really expensive pieces from the era. So you're going to see Versace like items. You're going to see, we've got the Manolo Blahnik. They tease me because I can't even say that. Manolo Blahnik shoes. We have Gucci. We've got every brand name that you can think of. They've even got some Hervé Leger type dresses. So one of the main things, though, that you see a lot of that was very characteristic of Jordan's wealth is his Rolex watches. But of course, in the movie, and there's a little bit of background history on that, he actually changes to what's called a tag watch. And this is one of the watches that he wears in the film. He changes to this because the Rolexes ended up being for the supporting characters. So you'll see Donnie wearing his Rolexes here. Now, of course, they're all fake. And his tag, which is actually the only real tag here, which is about $1,500 watch, he spouts to be a $40,000 watch. He actually throws ones into the audience. So we've got a lot of great accessories online. You'll see them as Jordan's accessories that feature the watch, feature his sunglasses. We've got wedding rings in there. I mean, these are complete sets of items that are in the auction, which is great. You'll see the ensembles full with the shoes and the vests and the jackets and the ties. And if you take a look, what we did, which is a little unusual for a studio auction, is we added screen references so you can see where you see it in the film, which is great for anybody who is a huge fan of this movie. And they were like, okay, where did he wear this? Where did he wear that? We tried to pinpoint that as best we can. So that's always fun if you're going on to the auction and taking a look and seeing each individual lot, and you're like, okay, so where did they see that? And you see all these lovely references. So I mean, there's a ton of things. I don't know if remember the moment where Donnie comes up to Jordan and says, hey, I will quit my job if you show me your paycheck. And he shows him the paycheck.
Yes.
We've got the paycheck. So
Yeah.
There's the $72,000 paycheck.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just little things like that.
So cool. Megan, before I also wanted to, a couple of things. One, I wanted to mention Megan has a cold. So I will try to give you little breaks here and there so you're not having to talk the whole way through.
Okay,
but also we have Charlie here as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention Charlie is doing the camera. So thank you so much, Charlie. So he's doing a little bit of panning and Ro, you know the terms better than me.
Zooming.
Yeah. Okay.
Shaking.
One of the things, just as an overall question I had for you, and this is something because we were doing a live stream last night talking about auction items. Can you tell us how did it come up that you had this massive collection? Because I think we were saying oftentimes you'll do these collections that'll be a mishmash of different shows, but you have a solid collection of just the Wolf of Wall Street. So are you able to give us a bit of history about that?
I can't dive too much into it. We
Sure.
do have a confidentiality agreement with a lot of our consigners, but I can tell you that we generally have relationships with studios. And so we'll get one title at a time and we'll feature that one title. So this was a private collection by a consigner, and he has decided to share that collection with everybody. And, at first, when we started digging through and seeing all of the beautiful and awesome things that we could put together, I wasn't sure it was going to be a full auction, but eventually we got so much, it ended up being over 200 units. And so you're looking at all of these things, and even, I mean, I say 200 units, that's lots, right? And each lot may have 3 or 4 things in it. So he had a massive collection, and it was only due to a really great relationship with him that he was able to offer it to us and bring it out to the public and share the love.
The other thing I wanted to mention, because I didn't know this until I looked it up, is Sandy Powell did the costume design on this. And she's like one of the most iconic costume designers. She does historical, but she also does fantasy. And this, I guess, technically is a historical piece because it's sort of set in the 90s, I believe. 80s?
Yes,
there's a bit of a time frame there. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yeah, there is. It's 8 years or something like that in there. Yeah. But I mean, if we want to go ahead and pan over to the blockiness of the suit. So that's what I can say that she nailed it right there. Yeah. We have Matthew McConaughey, which, in the beginning, he's super sharp. He's one of the kings of Wall Street before, of course, Jordan becomes the king of Wall Street. And she really emulated that in the fit and tailoring of these costumes. I think this is actually a shorter mannequin than Matthew McConaughey is, but his character is supposed to be this iconic mentor to Jordan, and so even the styling, even some of the clothing that I see are on his costumes, you can see later on that Jordan wears, and so if you take a look, this is the shoulder pads are super heavy, super indicative of the later 80s. It is much longer here, much boxier. And that's where you get the feel of Wall Street. Plus, and I don't know how many of these really have, they had huge amounts of pleats in their trousers.
Yeah.
That is not really done anymore.
No.
So you can tell that is a
But also look at the lining. The lining on that.
Fun stuff. It's
that
fun
feels
stuff.
like a Sandy Powell thing to put that shocking red lining in there.
Yep. And we have kept the little tags in there so that, people who are buying these things and collecting, they have a little bit of the production with it so that they can see it's super authentic. We, of course, offer COAs with all of our lots that the winner gets. And again, this is Jordan's. This is a little bit later in the movie. And a boxy look. They are not form fitted. So she did really take that shape and that style of the wedge and the boxiness of the late 80s into consideration when she was creating these ensembles. So nod to her because she's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
And I love these. Yeah.
Can you
Let me
tell
see if
me,
there's anything fun in
when
here.
did Leo wear that purple jacket? I'm trying to recall.
I'm trying to.
Was
This
that when
was.
he must have worn so many suits. I can't even.
He did. It's not even buttoned. I'm sorry.
Ro, do you have any questions so far?
No, I'm just noticing the double pockets on that jacket on the right
Yeah,
side,
double
which
pockets.
is interesting. I don't remember
Which-
those. Yeah, I don't remember having
Oh.
double pockets in
Yeah.
the 80s myself.
It's a fancy
Sorry.
tailoring thing.
Screen. Hold on one second. So, if you can remember, he wore this when he was doing his announcing that
Oh,
he was
yeah.
going to retire, but then decided not
Oh,
to.
yeah, because it's funny. I that scene, it didn't seem as brilliant as that. Like it's so bright, but of course, they always have the
Mhm.
with the
It was that
filters
one
and
and
stuff
not
like.
the Steve Madden one, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So towards the end of the meet, sorry, we have about over 20 of his ensembles, and
Yeah.
every one of them is just as ostentatious. And so this is the one where he's at the end. He's decided to give in to the demands of the FBI,
Mhm.
and he starts going into his monologue about how great everybody is. He, picks out, different people in the audience that he starts to talk about it. And then he starts getting nostalgic and going, you know what? No, I don't need to do this. I'm going to keep, which of course gets him in even bigger trouble. So, but yeah, no, this is his, what we call the announcement suit.
Awesome.
Yep.
And then of course I see that you've got Margot Robbie's dress. I believe that's when they went on a date.
So this is her first date costume.
First date
Yep.
dress. Yeah, cocktail
Yeah,
dress.
her first date cocktail dress. I mean, at the time she was spouted to be a designer herself. So she still had, she was living in New York, she still looked rich. And so that's what she was, even down to the rhinestone shoes. That's what Sandy had her kind of wear, just kind of emulate that. And then as she progressed, which we got her, of course, her Hervé Leger limo dress, and that's all I'm going to
Yes.
say about that one.
Yeah,
that was
I
a
remember
simple
that
scene.
scene.
Yeah, but Hervé Leger is like the couture of BCBG. It's a very well known name all throughout the late 80s, 90s, and so that was a perfect pick for that one. And then of course the Versace dress that she wears later on when she's getting engaged.
Yeah.
So which is great because the ring that she gets matches this perfectly. It's a yellow diamond.
Yeah, the straps on that are really cool, right? They're like sort of like chunky rhinestones or something,
Oh
or
yeah,
stones.
yeah.
And then she gets
The
that
bling.
sort of. Do you have the ring? Do you have the engagement ring?
No,
I know.
we didn't get
Oh,
the
there you go.
ring.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Charlie, are you able to get a shot of the shoes with the black dress or the shoes just in general?
This one?
One of the things I love so much about the collection is that a lot of them do come with shoes, or like for instance, this. Oh my gosh, amazing!
Nice.
The suits come with ties and shirts, like they're kind of
Yep.
complete, and footwear. I think it looks like in some cases.
Yes, and unfortunately those didn't fit the mannequin. So sorry,
Mhm.
but we have
Yeah,
them out
of
there. At
course.
least they can see them. Yeah,
Exactly.
And
Um,
this brand says churches, so I'm not exactly a huge couture knowledgeable person on men's shoes, but
Me neither. Yeah.
we had boxes and boxes of Gucci shoes that we could match with the ensembles, and so we were able to make as complete ensembles as possible. So that was awesome.
Now, another question I had for you is, did you have any Steve Madden shoes? Are there Steve Madden shoes? Like, I know there was that one weird pair that he talks about, the married.
No, unfortunately, we didn't get any because they weren't exactly featured in the film as much. But his shirts, we have Steve Madden shirts.
Oh, you do?
So,
okay.
yeah, so you'll see those in the auction.
Oh,
yeah, I
very
think there's
cool.
2 pairs of 2, I believe. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
So you were saying in terms of like, it seems like there was a lot of watches. So when they did the watches, then they're just reproduction. Like it wouldn't be a real Rolex. It would be a faux Rolex or a faux
Correct.
Hauser, I think it's called.
Yep. Well, we have one real.
One real one.
Then we have one fake one, and then we
Sure.
have a plethora of Rolex. And what they did is for the fake ones, of course, they they really did do a really great replica. I had to look this up to see if it was fake, and yeah, I was convinced it was real because a couple of them were actually still working. Like we could hear them tick, and I was like,
Wow.
how could it still work after 11 years
Yeah.
and still tick? And I mean, it was. And then we got them professionally checked out, and they're fake. So,
Yeah.
but they
Wow.
do say Rolex on them, which is nice. I mean, there's little indicators that I'm not a watch expert, but I mean, they're great pieces. They're heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can. It's one of those moments. I mean, do you think it is real? If you think it's real,
Yeah.
then it's real. So
I'm wondering if that's the one that he throws into the crowd at that, like
that
during that speech.
that is
Yeah.
well, so that's Donnie. So Donnie wears
Oh,
the
okay. Sure.
Rolexes, and
Yeah.
then this is the tag. I can't pronounce the last second name.
Hauser.
Hauer.
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 Tag Hauer. I'm not
Tag
sure
Hauer.
either.
Yeah, Hauer.
Yeah. Really
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah, and you can actually take a look at some of there's Rolex type replicas that look like the tag.
Okay.
So what I am assuming they did is they found a Rolex that thought that would look good on Jordan, and then when the whole tag thing came up, and they said, okay, we're just going to put tag on Leonardo, they flipped it, they chose one that looked very similar to that one that he wore. So they tried to keep it as far as continuity goes. That's what production does. It's just awesome. And so, of course, this is the one that he ends up. This is the one I believe he ends up tossing into the audience, and this is the only real tag that we have, and then we have another faux tag.
So cool.
I mean, yeah, it's really, really dang unique. And so if anybody's trying to get the real one, then there's no second tag. Oh, I apologize. I thought there was a second tag.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Megan.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm being corrected, so thank you. Go ahead.
Good for Charlie. I was going to ask you, Megan, when you get more than one item, like the watch per se, or we thought there was going to be a second watch, but when you get more than one item, you know how studios usually make one or two just in case a damage or whatever. Do you guys get like an extra one just to kind of have around or whatever? But do you guys get the whole lot, or do they just take one of the items and then just toss the rest? How does that work?
Every studio is different. There's a lot of studios that have archives, so they'll keep either the main one, or they'll keep an alternative one, or they'll keep a backup, or they'll keep the third one that the actor would wear. An actor may not just wear one, dress. They may wear one dress and then the same dress, or a different dress that's exactly the same. So they'll have multiples, and they may wear each one of the multiples. So each one could say hero in it. And sometimes we're able to say, all right, well, this one screen matched to this scene, and this one screen matched to this scene, but it's the same dress, right?
Sure.
And so we'll have two of them and be able to offer both of them. And sometimes the studio, seeing that, will take one for their archives. Some studios don't have archives, and they just like, nope, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and let some new owners love it and buy them. And so everything will be out there. And then sometimes there's only one of that one thing, like the ruby red slippers, or, I'm sure, I don't even think they had another pager. This may be the only pager, and I know it's the only one that we received. And I can't tell you how much they'll hold back because they never divulge that kind of information. But
yeah, that's always interesting.
I don't recall the little rocking horse. Is that from the daughter's bedroom?
Yes, it is. And so here's a good example. There were 4 when we saw them. I think there were about 3 or 4. And so we had to go and see which one actually appeared on screen. And we're like, this is the one we want. And then they took back the other ones. So, I mean, it's just kind of how you build the relationship, and how we want to be able to, and how they want to be able to offer into their auction. Because, as they're offering the good stuff, it benefits them as well. So,
sure.
Yeah, we've got, and the broker sales manual, I'm told, is probably the only one that is in existence as well. So, and it's interesting. I mean, it looks like a 1990s report that I did in high school.
Oh yeah.
Right. And it's got all of the pitches. It's
Mhm.
got, you know, um, so much of the stuff that they were talking about in like the breaking the fourth wall, and how he's talking about, you know, this is how the investors go. This is how, oh, none of that matters because you're not going to understand all that. Well, it's all in here, you know, it's all
Yeah.
how to become training your voice even. So this is actually really fun because it's sort of a insiders into how to become a stockbroker
Sure.
in the 80s or 90s. I'm not sure how much relevance it is right now, but
That's really
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, it's sort of,
yeah.
and for the actor, it would be really, it's almost like, what do they call it? Like it gives them a little bit of
Like a production
like
Bible?
Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And I guess
Background, yeah.
it's based off of a book, so maybe he had some of that. What, by the way, do you know if the real Jordan Belfort was a consultant? I know he had a small part in the show, in the movie.
I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about how much involvement he was in.
Oh, okay, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And
Do you have
another,
sorry, go ahead, bro.
I had another question. Will you guys
Mhm.
have, like, for instance, the rocking horse? You guys
Yeah.
had several of them. Who
Mhm.
does the? Do you guys do? Does your team do the screen matching, or does the studio
Yeah,
say, "Yeah, we're pretty sure that this is the one that was on screen and the rest weren't"? Or
both.
do you guys
It's a
confirm?
collaboration.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a collaboration, but we generally confirm
cool.
as best to our ability. Sometimes it's a little too fuzzy, can't see it, it's fast, you know. But with the high quality of things these days, we're able to capture a lot, which is thank goodness for 4K, you
Mhm.
know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Megan,
Yeah.
another question I have for you, because I know that you oftentimes will open up your studio, your shop, I should
Mhm.
say, to allow people, the public, to come in. Is there
Yeah.
an opportunity to come and view these items?
You know, we always recommend if you want to see a thing to make an appointment for
Mhm.
a particular piece, and we'll bring it out. This is our front lobby, so if they do make an appointment, unfortunately for the holidays, we're a little limited on open days, and this auction is closing up in a couple of weeks. So, but yeah, I mean, if there's an interested party that really wants to come in and see a particular item, they just have to call and make an appointment.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was wondering because I know it is a bit of a tight turnaround, and on some
Yeah,
of your
we
larger
generally
auctions, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have it open to the public, but we'll accept those phone calls, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Ro, do you have any other questions? Or before we go, Megan, do you have anything else that you wanted to show us? I think you showed us most of the items you had pulled out.
Oh, well, I kinda breezed through everything. I mean,
Mhm.
it's so hard to tell what people are interested in. I know that everybody loves, Jordan. They love the Matthew McConaughey, character, and so, hopefully those interests will remain high and get people more interested. And I love the fact that they brought in so much couture into this, even down to we've got over here, we've got some of Naomi's accessories.
Oh,
And
oh,
even
great.
though there's no real labels on them, you
Mhm.
can tell that we've got some
Like sunglasses?
bling on them.
Mhm.
Exactly. And so this kind of just adds to her elevation. Um, yeah, I have to show these. I love these so much. I love them. They're so
Oh,
cute.
thank you so much. Yes,
Yeah, I
amazing.
know. I know. And the funny thing is in that scene, you're almost not looking at anything else but
Yeah,
these shoes
I did notice them.
because
I
they're
did
so
notice them, actually.
I know. And her feet are so little and
I
thin. I love it.
absolutely.
So
What size is
yeah,
she?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, you're not allowed to tell us?
No, but if you buy these, you'll know. I'm
They
actually not
match.
allowed
They
to give
match your
out actual
sweater.
sizes.
Yeah,
They
they do, they
do. I
do.
think I need to buy these.
The
There
other
you
thing I
go.
No, but
was
these
gonna
I just
say
captured
about
them.
this movie, it's really memeable, and the outfit that I used on the thumbnail is the one where Leo DiCaprio is, like, biting his hand like, "Arr," and he's getting called out because of the expensive dinner, so you have that outfit as well, the
Oh my
one from the
gosh.
meme where he's biting his
Yeah.
hand, so and it's got a very
Yeah.
cool tie, which almost looks a bit like Christmas lights or something, I thought, I
Yeah,
don't
his
know what they are.
guys are they're all over the place. I mean, you
For
can
sure.
see the evolution. I'm just gonna keep holding the shoes.
Of course.
You can see the evolution of his clothing where he starts out with kind of these drab brown, and gray suits in the beginning, and then he starts to get, a little bit more flashy. They start taking him out to the strip clubs, and then he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm making money." And then you can see him getting classier and classier. And that's what I love about this auction, is that there's so many rich things to buy. Just the elevation of the product. So yeah, I mean, this is a fun one to be able to offer, and I'm really, really happy that we're gonna be
Amazing. Oh, one other thing I noticed, are those Donnie's glasses, the round
They
ones that you have in
are,
the cabinet?
yes.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
wears
Can we
these
go
sort
over
of
and look
like
up?
tortoise
He
shell, I
does.
believe.
He does. He wears these and he's got 2 pairs,
Oh,
but
okay.
these
Here, I'll
ones
put it on
here.
you again. Sorry. So you can show.
Oh,
Charlie can zoom
there
in.
we go.
Oh,
Do I need
wow.
it?
Great. They're actually quite big, but at the 80s they were
They
big.
are.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly, her attention to detail as far as styling goes is incredible. So these were fun to see, and of course all the sunglasses were fun to see. Lots of Ray-Bans, of course, and
Oh, yeah.
and then, I mean, you can't get more 90s.
Oh,
than
that I
the
used to
flip
have a
phone.
flip phone. I love flip phones. It
I
took
had
me
one
forever
too.
to give mine up. I was like, no, I'm keeping my flip phone.
Yeah.
I know.
So
The
fun.
funny thing is they both use it, and Donnie grabs it from his hand at
Yeah.
one point, starts using it, and I mean, this is the
Is
only
that
one
a
we've got.
real one? Or,
I haven't actually. I don't think we've tried it.
Put a
We tend
battery
to
in.
just kind of, yeah. I doubt it works because it's probably pretty old, and there may not even be. I don't even know. Can you see that? There may not even be a charger for that
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
for
think my
sure.
son's iPad may have something
Sure.
That's
that's
so
very
funny.
similar, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure
So,
somebody has a drawer of cables in
Oh,
their house
yeah.
that'll
do.
probably work.
Oh,
You go
yeah,
to the
for
thrift
sure.
store and you'll find a bunch of them. Yeah, exactly. So, is
Well,
there anything else that I missed that you guys want to see up close?
I don't think so. I do remember the bear. That was pretty funny because she didn't even know that there was a camera
Nope.
inside of it, and they have these 2 bodyguards. I think it's Bruno and Bruno or something.
Yep.
They're named the same, and they're
Exactly.
watching this particular scene, which is funny. By the way, this is just a little trivia thing I read, but apparently The Wolf of Wall Street has the most swear words of any movie in history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
we
funny.
we had some fun doing a couple of reels with that
Yeah.
that keeping that in mind. So
Yeah,
take a
it's
look on take a
and
look
they
on
had
our
to
Facebook
actually
page,
edit
and
a
you'll see
few
them.
scenes to keep the rating from an
Yep.
NC-17.
I
It's
mean,
sort of weird that
there's
Martin Scorsese, because he seems like such a sweet grandpa, you know?
Oh, I know, and there was several where we wanted to capture the scene reference, and we couldn't because of the nudity. Sorry, we
Yeah.
can't
No,
provide
I know,
those
there's a
on
lot of
Foster.com.
nudity. I know, it's a little bit bonkers.
It is. It's a
But,
crazy film. It's a
I
crazy
really
film.
enjoyed it,
It's
and
great.
I mean, it's everything Martin Scorsese does is incredible, and of course, the costumes by Sandy Powell. I'm sorry, I don't know who did the props, but everything is the design, the cars. Oh my gosh, you didn't end up with a car by any chance, did you?
No, no,
Like
no,
that
no, it's been
smashed
a
up
little too
one?
long. No,
There's a
oh my
smashed
gosh,
up
wouldn't that have been great?
Lamborghini.
Yep, if we had gotten that smashed up Lamborghini, I'm sure that would have sold for, I
Oh,
don't know, that would have made the
absolutely.
auction right
I have a
there.
feeling nowadays they probably would just do that with special effects. Like, imagine smashing up a Lamborghini, like, that's so crazy.
Well, it would have been a knockoff Lamborghini,
Oh,
I
a
think, but
knockoff, okay. I
yeah,
don't know.
but no, I think they're much more into practical these days than
Mhm,
CGI. I see a good healthy balance between the 2
mhm.
now, so.
Well, anyway, Megan, I want to thank you so much for joining us. And
Of
especially since you're
course.
under the weather, we really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And we're going to be doing this
Thanks.
regularly. We're hoping to do this as a regular thing going into
Mhm.
2025 because we just love having you guys. And Ro, also, I want to thank you so much because Ro's had a crazy week at work and he's
Oh,
taken his time out of his day to come and join us. So,
Didn't wanna
um,
miss it.
you.
yeah. So thanks for everybody who popped in. Thank you so much. Hi, Tom and Alicia and Ubaldo and Luna. But if anyone's watching this on the replay, I want to wish everyone a wonderful, happy holidays and a happy new
Mhm.
year. And as well to you, Megan, and to Charlie.
Thank
I hope you both get a little bit of rest.
We'll try. We'll try. Thank you so much,
And some
and
time
happy
with your
holidays
loved
to you
ones.
guys too. Thank you.
Yeah, with your families and everything.
Mm.
And Charlie, I know we can't see you, but thanks so much. We really appreciate you. And Ro, hi there. There he is. And Ro, you as well. Okay, well, thanks so much, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Take
Thank
care.
you, Megan.
Thank you.
Make some
Bye.
tea. Make some tea.
I will. I will.
Yeah. Thanks. Take care. Oh, and I put a link to the auction in the description below. If anyone wants to go, you can check out, there's an online catalog for that. Okay, so and you can look at everything online. You don't even have to go down to LA and go to the studio. You can just do
It'd be
it from
cool
the
if you
comfort of
did.
your home.
Mhm.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, bye, y'all. Take
Bye.
care.